Let's talk 12-volt ovens, and in particular, the Travel Buddy range. Now, as you know, a couple of years ago, the guys from Unknown Direction, fellow YouTubers in Kuwait, sent me the baby Travel Buddy as a birthday present. And, well, my first impression and seeing especially the Australian YouTubers and Australian guys heading out there all the time, they utilize the Travel Buddy, the 12-volt ovens, to cook their pies and stop off lunch and have a pie. And as cool as that may seem, it takes up a lot of space if you're only going to be using it to cook some pies. Generally, we would stop off, make a fire, cook a great meal in the evening, morning, get up, big breakfast before we head off to the next destination, and rarely stop for a lunch. And if we had to stop for a lunch, it'll be a quick sandwich and off you go. So space-wise, if you've been following this channel for a while, you'll know that anything that I put in my vehicle has got to be dual purpose, and its size, its weight, its convenience, but it's got to have a couple of purposes. Now, if I'm going to put this in my car purely to cook pies, well, makes no sense. So I never bought one, never needed one. So I got one for my birthday, stuck it in the car, and oh my, did my life change. It is fantastic. We have cooked so many different meals. We've tested this little baby one, all kinds of roasts. In the description below, you can go and have a look at what we've cooked. And we've had so much fun having this in the vehicle, and it does make a massive difference. So the space that it took was well worth it. The only issue that I have with the little baby one is that it only gets up to about 160 degrees Celsius, which is fine. We have done some pork ribs in this Travel Buddy, and at 160 degrees Celsius for 4 hours, man, it just falls off the bone. Look at that, the bone just wants to pull out. Now that's perfect, but it doesn't give you that crisp, especially when you're doing a lamb rack. It doesn't give you that crisp at the end. Even a whole chicken doesn't give you that crispiness. And well, what we did a lot of the times is we'd be stopping off at our destination, light a fire anyway to keep ourselves warm, and then I would just crisp the last bit of the pork or the lamb shanks or lamb ribs, whatever we put in there. But we've had so much fun with this, and I decided, well, you know what? Time for an upgrade. Make additional space and stick in the marine version of the Travel Buddy range. Now, the reason being, number one, obviously the size. I can put bigger roasts in there. I can cook more in this versus the little one, and it's getting up to 180 degrees plus. So I received it not too long ago. I've already tested. I haven't even installed it in the vehicle yet, and we just did a lamb rack, and oh my, did that come out fantastic. And it was nice and brown and crispy compared to what the little one did. So for pies, this is perfect. Absolutely awesome. I would suggest when you're getting the little one or even the big one is Travel Buddy by Crystal Air. Go and purchase it from them, and then go on to Somerville Metalworks and purchase all the accessories for this, for either one of them. Now, I went with a deep dish for the little Travel Buddy, and basically could put in a full chicken or any kind of roast, veggies, potatoes, and cook that in there, and it's nice and neat and closes up. Another tip I'm going to give you for either of these is when you purchase one of these is immediately change the latching mechanism for this, because as you are traveling off the beaten track on the nice rutted corrugated roads, the doors do tend to open. So I hadn't purchased that for this one. This one is going to go probably into our cruise vehicle to give them pies during the day while they're filming. But from, again, once I ordered all the accessories for the new one, I added in this door. Not only is it an insulation, but this clip will then secure it properly. And I will do an installation video. I'm going to be installing them onto both of this as a separate video. But today, just discussing Travel Buddy. Now, let's stick that in there, hide that away. The new one. well, like I said, I've done my first cook. It's going to be installed right now, and we're spending 8 days off the beaten track, and we're going to be doing quite a bit of cooking over this. So you'll see some cooking shows coming out of the Travel Buddy, the Marine Travel Buddy, but I want to show you all the accessories that I got, like a kid in a candy store. Right, from the guys at Somerville Metalworks. Again, we got the door, beautiful, everything's wrapped. I love it that everything comes with all the fittings, you can see it here. Let me open it up even easier. What I like is that it comes with full instructions on how to install it, as well as all the screws, pop rivets, the latches, even a drill bit. I mean, they've gone as far as giving you the correct size drill bit, so everything is, well, it's not plug and play, but a little bit of DIY, and you can get that installed. So we got the door, we got 2 lovely oven trays over here. So when you're out there and you want to cook 2 different meals, or you want to put some pork ribs at the top and maybe do some veggies or anything like that, these slot in beautifully, and you've got 2 separate, nice, closes up, and you can cook 2 separate meals at the top and the bottom. So some veggies, like I said, and some meat at the bottom, or wherever you like. Similarly, well, I'll leave that in there. Gone for the deep dish as well, which will help out for those chicken roasts and your lamb shanks, anything like that. What I suggest when you order one of these, also ensure that you get the trivet for all the dishes that you get, whether it's the shallow dish or the deep dish. But the trivet fits in nicely over there, and well, it's a lot easier to clean when you're done there. Another thing that I'm going to be trying out is with the deep tray, with the trivet, I also have the lid. So this is going to be able to secure it, or close it up, and the heat is probably going to increase somewhat compared to it being open, which will be able to, I'm going to try something different in here, maybe a cottage pie, maybe a lasagna, and I think the lid is really going to assist it to get that cooking period done, and then we'll open it up to grill, obviously the cheese on the top, and let that melt up and look real good. So I'm really excited to try this out. Absolutely awesome. Now, another one to try out is the Travel Buddy pizza cooking tray. Now, this is a first. I haven't done this before. We'll be cooking some pizza and see how this goes, and importantly, how it cleans. Pizza is always nice to do while you're out there, but it's a mission, especially if you're doing it on open fire. You can never get the temperature right. Now I know that I can set this. I mean, this has got settings starting all the way, so it's all the way up to 200 degrees Celsius. I haven't got it up to 200 degrees Celsius yet, to tell you the absolute truth. We're running at about 180, 190. But at 200 degrees Celsius, I can play with my temperature and get the pizza absolutely perfect. Now, mounting this, right. There are so many options available from Somerville Metalworks. I've gone with the side mount. I'm going to be mounting mine up against the gull wings that are installed in the 76. So this will go up nice and high, space that I'm not utilizing, right up against the roof of the vehicle, and basically it will fit in. And again, every single nut, bolt, screw, and really nice, all beautiful. And as you can see, the beautiful cutouts to decrease the weight in this, and love it. Full instructions. You know, the guys are doing a great job at that. But how this would work is this would fit in there, mounted up against the side over there. It is really strong. Remember, these are about 5 kgs, so they're not exceptionally heavy, but 5 kilograms rattling around on those corrugated roads, you need to be secured nice and tight. So this gets secured into the bracket, and the bracket gets secured into the vehicle with a mounting bracket plate, which is so important to increase that strength, is having that on the other side of where you're mounting it, so that it's spreading the load on either side of where you're going to be mounting. Now, They've got roof mounts, they've got side mounts, they've got floor mounts, they've got all kinds of mounts over there, and it's really worthwhile visiting their site and having a look at what they do. The guys are exceptionally friendly. Unfortunately, we don't have any dealers out here in the Middle East as yet. Hopefully this video sparks some ideas. So if you're looking to become a dealer, hey, leave a comment below. I'll put you in touch with the owners directly from Crystal Air, as well as the guys at Somerville Metalworks, and hopefully we can get a distributor out here that's supplying this to us here in the Middle East. You know, the cost of these things are, you know, from $215 Aussie to, I think these are about $270 to $80. It actually costs more to courier the stuff here than it actually to purchase the unit, which then puts it into the $500 range, Aussie dollar range, which is expensive, but well worth it. Absolutely well worth it. So it'll be great to have a dealer out here that can, you know, ship this in bulk, put it onto a ship, and bring the shipping costs down dramatically. I can't wait to get this installed. I'm going to be doing a separate video on how the brackets put together, what I think about the strength, and yeah, do that. So watch out for my shows coming up shortly with all our cooking segments. I'm going to be doing some recipes, what I think, some do's, some don'ts in the marine. We've done it already for the Travel Buddy. Oh, important. Now, big. Unfortunately, this Travel Buddy, both of them come with the cigarette lighter charger. Now, I understand why they do that from the factory, because not everybody else is, you know, plumbing it in direct and might be utilizing it between one or two different vehicles. For us, my suggestion is straight away, just change this, get an Anderson plug, you know, put one of these Anderson plugs on here, do a quick swap out and plumb it in. Well, it's semi-permanent, you know, it is fused inside. I do prefer just to put another 10 amp fuse in series over here, put another 10 amp fuse, although all my electrical in my vehicle are fused. It runs through a DB box and it's fused over there as well. But to be safe, on the safe side, it is a heating element. It doesn't get hot on the outside, so you can really mount it up against anything. You can put stuff on top of it, behind it. The only thing that gets pretty warm is the door, but not enough to create a fire in your vehicle. So having a towel or having, you know, clothing or anything falling in and around this, safe as I've had no issues whatsoever. So mount one of these, absolute must, and make the space. If you don't have the space, make the space. It is well worth it. I love it, and I can't wait to install it now. Just as a last thought, yes, okay, fine. Before we get the questions, they draw about 10 amps, okay? So they are power hungry. We utilize ours a lot while we're driving. However, so if you're utilizing it while you're driving, you don't have to go to that extent by having 300 amp lithium batteries and so for a weekend warrior, these things are great because you're on the tracks, you're on the trails, you're going over there, and your lunch or your supper is cooking in here. What we're going to be using it for this whole week or the next 8 days on the beach is we're not going to be moving, so I'm going to be relying on my 225 amps of lithium batteries, my 550, call it 600 watt solar panels, and I should be able to maintain running this for 3 to 4 hours a day while I'm doing my cooks, as well as running 3 fridges, etc., 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 camera gear charging. So that will be another interesting, probably I'll do a short little video on that. Size-wise, dimension-wise, they are both 19 high, 28 deep. This one is 32 wide and this one is 23 wide. So really there's a 9 centimeter difference between the two. Once again, if I put it over here, you can see there isn't much difference. But if you, like me, in the beginning had absolutely zero space in my car to fit one of these, I have made the space and now have found some dead space by hanging this up, right up against the roof. And that's going to be nice out of the way, and it's dead space that I wasn't utilizing anyway. So yeah, size-wise, weight-wise, 5 kgs. I think this is about 3.5 kgs. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. You can check it out on the site, but go and visit Crystal Air, Travel Buddy, as well as Somerville Metalworks, really and truly. You know, we bought stuff from them. They have sent this to me to try and test this. So this was semi-sponsored. But, you know, money well spent, guys. Money well spent. Let me go and install.